I had an absolute blast watching this movie, but it had absolutely nothing to do with the movie itself.
Real.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
Welcome to the objective review of Frozen 2. Before I get into the review of Frozen, I want to review the 4D movie-going experience because I've never done it before. So I decided to do it with Frozen 2 because I wasn't that excited to see Frozen 2. So I thought might as well make an event out of it. In this review of 4D movie-going experience, I'm going to talk about what exactly 4D movie-going experience is, all the traits that go along with it. If we don't consider price at all, how does it compare to the other movie-going experiences? And if we consider the price, which is the best option? You may be asking yourself, what is 4D movies? Well, 4D movies is another format to see movies in movie theaters, but in this case, it's a fully immersive to the point where the actions, the things that happen on screen are simultaneously happening to you in your seat in the theater. And it does this several different ways. It could do this through smells. It could do it through these seats vibrating, mist, air, snow, all of it. The sounds, and honestly, I had absolute blast with it. It was a lot of fun. It was really immersive. So when I saw Frozen, when it came to smell, like there was a scene where they're in a forest and it smelled like a forest, which is just eerie. Like they sprayed something into the air. When there were chase scenes, your seats will rock. They're going down like a river. It was just like an amusement park ride. Even when they were just small, little, just walking, there were just these little movements. When a character got hit, like say if a character got hit in the back, you felt something in your back. They also made use of strobe lights, so when Elsa would use her frozen powers, it would just like strobe every time she would kind of use them, and that was really cool. And plenty of times they really utilize like the air. It was just like these little gusts of wind. So if you like going down a river, you can just feel the wind kind of in your face. They also use mist, and so you can feel the freaking mist. And at one point, they actually made it snow in the movie theater. Like I said, I had an absolute blast with it. So if money was an option, say if I was just balling out of control, how would it compare to the other movie-going experiences? Well, when it comes to the regular just 2D format, it is leaps and bounds above that. I think the only movies that I wouldn't want to see in that movie is movies I just really want to sit down and concentrate and focus on. But I had so much fun here. If I had it my way, if money was an option, I would probably see 90% of movies in the 4D experience compared to regular 2D experience. Now, how does it compare to 3D? I am not a fan of 3D at all. 3D is, I think, fairly outdated. Those glasses, they tend to give me a headache, and it's usually not that 3D-ish. Like, you can always kind of see those little lines on top of the lines, and it just takes you out of the movie. 4D definitely just completely is better than 3D. And also, my 4D experience, I thought it might come with 3D glasses, but didn't. I do think some are different, that they may have all the things I described before and also 3D glasses along with it. When it comes to screenettes, if you don't know what screenettes is, please check out this video here. I reviewed that. I really enjoyed screenettes. I did have a lot of issues with it, mostly that it didn't utilize the two screens on the side that well. So with screenettes, you have three movie screens. You have the front one, you have the side ones, and it's a fully like 180-degree immersive experience. But it's more of a visual immersion than a physical one. So without a doubt, 4D, I think, takes the cake here. Screenettes doesn't even come close for me. Now compared to IMAX, this is kind of just depends on the type of movie. Like if I was going to see a Christopher Nolan movie, oh man, how would a Christopher Nolan movie be in 4D? I wonder does he like that? But I'll probably go with the IMAX experience because he utilizes the camera work so well. And IMAX movies just look just so freaking beautiful. Like it might be a toss-up for me between these two. Really just depends on the movie. I think if it was a movie like Frozen that I'm not that excited for, I would go see it in 4D instead. But IMAX is great. Alright, so now let's look at the prices. Here's a general pricing list of all the formats in my area. So you have a regular movie price at $11.11, 3D at $15.37, screenettes at $16.25, IMAX at $15.99, and 4D at a whopping $20.55. 4D is no joke. It's very, very expensive, but I do think it's worth the money. But how does it compare to the regular movie going experience? I think if you're by yourself or you're with kind of a small number of people and you're paying for all of them, I think actually going to 4D is worth it. It's a really cool experience. It's more than just a movie. So I think it's more than worth paying that pretty much double the price of a regular ticket. Compared to 3D at $15.37, of course, go see a 4D movie because 3D I don't think comes close to this. And it's just, $5 extra, which is about a 33% increase in ticket price. But I think for double the fun. Compared to ScreenX at $16.25, I do think the additional about $4 is not that bad. I would definitely go see the movie in 4D. Like, I was gleaming plenty of times. I was not gleaming when I saw Shazam and ScreenX. IMAX. Now this one is interesting because IMAX looks absolutely beautiful, but again, I think it depends on the movie. I think if I was seeing Frozen, I do think it's worth the extra like $3 or $4 to go see this movie in 4D because I wasn't that curious or excited to go see the movie, so I might as well add a really cool layer on top of that. Alright, those are my thoughts about 4D. Time to get into the review of Frozen 2. In objective review, I break a movie down into 6 categories and assign weights to them, depending on the genre, to have the most honest, unbiased, objective review as possible. So, let's get started with the first category of story. In the story of Frozen 2, it is like Avatar in the sense there is water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, these 4 spirits live together in harmony, I guess, with like humans and stuff, until something changed. And years later, Arendelle, the town or village or city, whatever, of Elsa and Anna, is in danger country. And our protagonists have to go save the day. And they are the protagonists. There really is no antagonists in this movie, and that's interesting. I didn't find that not having antagonists hurt the movie. I felt not having a lot of conflict hurt the movie. I do think the story is better than the first movie, but I don't really like the first movie story at all. It's just not that great to me. The story does feel like an episode of those Disney cartoons that came after the movie, like Aladdin. Like, the story seems fairly inconsequential, especially given that they had not four nations, but for the 4 elements to work with. That was a complete miss. Like, why even use that? But the story kept my attention enough. I was engaged enough. It gets a 7 out of 10. That's on to emotion. There wasn't that much emotion in this film. There was some good kind of emotion from between the 2 sisters because they really care and love each other, and you know what, you felt that a little bit. So emotion gets a 7 out of 10. This is on to action. There's some fairly decent action in this movie. I think when Elsa used her powers, they felt very superhero-esque, and maybe it's because I watched in 4D, but they just really were more impactful and they really hit hard. She had a really great scene that involved her and water, and I thought it was a very well executed and choreographed scene. There are some other chase scenes as well, but there's still not that much. Action was just fine. Gives a 7 out of 10. Next is on to comedy. I surprisingly laughed out loud several times in the comedy, and like I said before, I didn't like Frozen 1. I didn't think it was that funny, but for some reason, Frozen 2 is really funny. I really love Olaf. He had this one little song where he just, I don't want to spoil for it, but I really like Olaf in this, and I don't like Olaf. I really don't. So comedy gets an 8.5 out of 10. That's just on to acting. The voice acting performances in this film were decent, or they're fine, they're good. I always love Kristen Bell in anything she does. I think she brings a lot to the table. Idina Menzel did good as Elsa again. Josh Gad as Olaf really provided a lot of comedy to the movie, so they all did good. I have no complaints at all about the voice acting. I really do like Sterling K. Brown in this. He needs to do more voice acting because he has a great voice. Anyway, acting gets a 8 out of 10. This is on to directing. In this movie was good. The animation looks amazing. It looks perfect as I ever did before. Granted, it doesn't try to do anything new. There are some really great scenes with all the little ice crystals and everything. I do think the music is lacking here. Maybe this is hard because I'm comparing it to the first film, and I've had, years to enjoy that soundtrack, or at least enjoy 2 songs. Let Us Know and For the First Time in Forever. Not Let Us Know, Let It Go. Those 2 songs I think are really good. I don't think any songs in this one really reach even close to those 2 songs. So there wasn't anything I think really special about the directing or soundtrack or anything else. Directing gets an 8 out of 10. That brings the weighted average score to a 7.7 out of 10. It's a fairly decent movie. It's fine. What are your thoughts on the 4D movie-going experience? What are your thoughts on Frozen? Let me know. And if you like this video, if you got something out of it, please like, comment, and consider subscribing. And sincerely, thank you for watching. I'm out.